Welcome to AI Carousel. I've used AI Carousel in the past. This version already has some of my colors I wanted from the last one I did. It also has my logo already set up and it has my website set up. But I want to import a carousel. When I import a carousel, here is what the carousel import is. All the copy that goes with it and how that will look. What I want to do now is I've taken a screenshot of this and I plopped it right in to ChatGPT. And let me show you what I did with that. I plopped it into ChatGPT and I go, here's what AI Carousel prompt looks like. Please create the prompt to align with this. The requirement is to present the content in LinkedIn carousel format, featuring stunning cinematic graphics and scroll stopping elements. So I said thanks, and then it gave me this canvas and the slides. If you might think about this kind of looks like code. I'm not a code writer, I don't know squat about codes, but hey, kind of looks like it. I've seen it enough times, kind of walks it through. I just do the simple copy, take it over to AI Carousel, highlight everything, copy, paste, and here we go. We have the intro, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, all the pieces that it wants. I hit import into carousel, boom, there you go. It took the prompts, it uploaded everything, brought in the graphics that I wanted at the same time. As you can tell, it's kind of there. It needs a little bit more work, but going through AI Carousel, you have the ability to change things up. In AI Carousel, I can choose to add an image. I can have a classic look, which is nothing at all. I can add emojis. I can do a headshot, or I can add an image. This is a new image. It's a new feature. And then I can align it to align center or align right. Let me push the align right. That kind of shows you how it aligns. And one of the limitations currently with AI Carousel is it doesn't give you a whole bunch of options, which is both good and bad. If you're not creative or visual, or as visual as maybe a graphic artist or designer might be, then it gives you a lot of options. If you're really creative and really into design and you have the time, you may want to find another tool and go back into Canva or go back into Adobe Illustrator or one of those other tools to help you with this. But this works out really good for those of us who are, shall I say, graphically impaired. I really don't like it on a vertical, so I want to align it center this time, and boom, there we go, we got it aligned centered. One of my problems is I don't like everything in the same color text. One of the things we have the ability to do in AI Carousel is I can change the color. Right here on the right, when I highlight that and I left click it, this will come up and I can change it to bold. And when I change it to bold, it already knows that my colors and what they are. Here's the color palette that you have your choice of. It comes with a whole bunch of predetermined color palettes, but if you have your own color palette, and if you have a brand guide, you have a color palette, I plugged in some of my colors. Really what I plugged in was my gold. I'm kind of using their blue because my color palette on my blue is a little bit too dark, I think. I could change that up and kind of go through, or I could generate changes right through here on the bottom. If you take a look, it has a headline or the tagline, what if AI conversations in dental marketing is missing the real point? I could change that up if I wanted to. I can also change any part of this here in the content I have, or I can change it here by writing it in. The other thing I can do, which I didn't show you, is by double left clicking. I can now also rephrase. I can improve the writing, rephrase it, fix spelling and grammar, make it shorter, simplify the language, or I can do some custom instructions on what I want to do. So, I think that lead-in is a little long, so let's make it shorter. I highlighted the whole thing. Make sure you highlight all the words you want to make shorter. Is AI dental marketing missing the real point? I've now made that lead-in shorter, quicker to read. Again, this is a carousel, so the slides are going to move by. One of the things I didn't walk you through is the different options here. You have a LinkedIn post, a 4x5, 1x1, Instagram. You also have TikTok you can use this for, threads and videos, and a PowerPoint presentation. So you have a lot of options and a lot of tools. I have used this in both some of my videos I've created and also some PowerPoints that I've done along with some content that I posted for my graphics. There's a lot of options here. You can make these as long as you want. Let's just go through it here so you can see the graphics. So you got to remember I did cinematic graphics. So you have the ability to say how you want the graphics to look. So if you don't know what type of graphics you want, I recommend you go out and understand a little bit about camera photography so you can help use those right words. Or again, just put a prompt in ChatGPT and say, hey, I want it to look like a film, or I want it to look like this, and it will give you the right verbiage that you need. You do not need to be an expert. That is the great thing about GenAI. If you have an idea of what you want, tell them what you're looking for. As you can tell, I've kind of walked through. I haven't done all of my editing to this yet, but it does need some work. It takes us through, and I have a final product here. Now, one of the things you didn't see me do is I uploaded one of my robots, and I created this robot in Flux, and I had to add in one of my logos. If you can't really tell, it says NuParadym on it at the very end, and it's uploaded, and I've cleaned that up. In all, when you finish this, you just need to choose the format, and I'd recommend you choose the format you want before. This is set up in a 4x5. I'm going to run this as a video on my content. Now, one of the things you do is when you do it on LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, these three options, you actually give it permission to post right to your account. You got to set that up. I'm not going to walk you through that, but it's pretty simple. I have a CMS system, content management system. I will do work way out in advance, and I will post that up so it's ready to go. And my CMS system manages all of my content for me. Not only does it load it for me, it also gives me the data coming back, and I understand how well that content is performing out on the social media platforms. It works really well. This is my process. Everybody has a slightly different process. You do what works for you. This is how I manage my time for myself. I will load this up as a video. I want it in a 4x5. As you can tell right here, it talks about background music and seconds. Well, I want this to be 3.5. I want each slide to be up for 3.5 seconds. I'm not going to select a template because I've already got a template done. And I just go and hit the download button, and boom, it's done downloading. Now all you got to do is save it into a file or do whatever you're going to do with it on your own system, or put it into your Google Drive and do your next steps. I hope you learned how to use a really useful tool. Now you kind of understand why I gravitate towards AI Carousel. You can find AI Carousel at aicarousel.com. I do pay for this version. This version is not very expensive. When I say not very expensive, I think it's like $10 a month, and you pay for the year in advance, something to that effect. I'm already paying for Canva, but for me and how I run and what I'm doing, since I don't have a large team, AI Carousel solves my problem for me. If you know of another tool like this, please let me know. Drop it in the bottom, direct message me. I would love to learn about it. I am always learning about new stuff and new tools for GenAI. Until the next time, guys, I'm Mark Heffner, your host, and I want to thank you for joining me here at the Next Leap Academy. Make it a great day, everybody.